So we're here at Agilent Technologies, ready for the shake test. So I'm currently running self-test before we put the system onto the shake table. Everything's passing. I've only connected two of the Gig E ports together, so one pair. So we've bolted it down to the table. Startup time. So this is after the second trial at 2.4 Gs. The system is operational. Running the self-test. So it's a 3.4 G test. So here's the self-test running after the 3.4 Gs. No errors, everything looks good. So we're running the self-test again after the 3.4 Gs, this time in the GUI. And as you can see, everything is working. There are no errors. Again, we only have two of the Gig E ports connected together and loopback, so 5, 3, and 4 stay down, but otherwise everything is running good. Next step is to run the 3.4 Gs for a longer period of time. Last time it was run for 10 minutes. Startup time. So this is after the second trial at 2.4 Gs. The system is operational. Running the self-test. Test at 3.4 Gs. self-test running after the 3.4 Gs. No errors, everything looks good. So we're running the self-test again after the 3.4 Gs, this time in the GUI. And as you can see, everything is working. There are no errors. Again, we only have 2 of the GIG ports connected together and loopback. So 5, 3, and 4 stay down. But otherwise, everything is running good. Next step is to run the 3.4 Gs for a longer period of time. Last time it was run for 10 minutes. So we're about to run a 2.4 G test with the server on its side. During the test, we noticed that some of the motherboard screws came out. So you can see here, there are at least 3 motherboard screws missing. One sitting here in the case. During initial boot up, the card was not recognized. So I'm going to make sure that the extender card and the PCI card is firmly in place. I think you can see here that the PCI extender card vibrated out of socket. Even though it was supposed to be screwed in, it appears that the 2 screws that were supposed to be there for locking the extender card in place are missing. You should definitely use locking washers or some kind of lock on the screws for shipment. So I'm going to put this back together and boot it up and see the card can pass self-test. So after reseating the PCI extender card, the system booted up fine, the card was recognized by the system, and the self-test is passing. So as long as we use some Loctite on the screws or locking washers on the screws for the motherboard and PCI extender card, we should be fine as far as shipping goes. Evidently with the 7 horizontal tests, we were able to vibrate the screws out of position, and then as soon as we put the system on its side and ran a test that way, the PCI extender card popped out of the socket. So as long as we have a good way of securing those screws in, the system should be fully operational. So to summarize, after 8 or 9 tests, 7 or 8 in the horizontal, 1 in the vertical, the system is operational. But we need to make sure that screws on the motherboard and PCI extender card are secured.